low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go.
Brian Giles with Brian Giles MTG. And we're back with more Duskmourn spoilers. A blue and body tracker is a blue and 2 for a 2/3 human with human scout, I would imagine, with flash. It has eerie whenever a champion you control enters. Whenever you fully unlock a room, draw a card. We have a classic jump scare because this is a horror set, so it's a single white mana for an instant that reads, till the end of turn, target creature gets +2/+2, gains flying, becomes a horror enchantment creature in addition to its other types. So if you're playing a horror-centric deck, that would be fun. Yeah. This is a fun little instant. For a single white mana, you get a lot. You get 2/2 flying, and of course you become a horror enchantment creature for until the end of turn. Next up, we have Enter the Enigma. A blue mana for a sorcerer that reads, target creature can't be blocked this turn, and draw a card. Hoo-haw. I really like this card. In Limited, this card was just going to be absolutely baller. You get card draw and a creature can't be blocked. Then we have Paranormal Analyst. For a blue and 1, you get a 1/3 human detective. Whenever you manifest dread, put a card you put in your graveyard this turn into your hand. Okay, so this is kind of like, when you manifest dread, you choose between 2 cards and you put one in your graveyard so you can get that card back. So hoo-ha, that's kind of cool. We have Bale Merc Leech, black and 1 for a 2/2 Leech, has eerie. So whenever you champion you control enters, or whenever you fully unlock a room, each opponent loses a life. Okay. Next up, we have Spectral Snatcher. Beefy, 2 black and 4 for a 6/5 spirit with ward, discard a card, and it has Swamp Cycling for 2. So this is a black Swamp Cycling card. Rampaging Soul Rager. So a red and 2 for a 1/4 spirit. It gets +3/+0 as long as there are 2 or more rooms among unlocked doors among rooms you control. Okay, that's pretty good in a room-centric deck. Frantic Strength. Green and 2 for a enchantment aura with flash. Enchant creature gets +2/+2 and has trample. So that's an interesting little card there. Creature enchantment. And the card that explains the card. Manifest Dread, a green and 1 for a sorcerer that reads Manifest Dread. So you can look at the top 2 cards of your library, put one in your battlefield as a face down 2/2 creature, the other in your graveyard. Turn face up for its mana cost if it's a creature card. So next up we have Restricted Office and Lecture Hall. Restricted Office is 2 white and 2 for an enchantment room. When you unlock the store, destroy all creatures with power 3 or greater. Okay. And Lecture Hall is the beefy 2 blue and 5 for the enchantment room. This door. Lecture Hall reads 2 blue and 5 for other impermanents you control have hexproof. I think it's a little expensive for that second room. First room is a good non-weenie board wipe. Then we have Malevolent Chandelier. Beefy 6 generic for a 4/4 artifact creature construct with flying. You can pay 2 to put target card from a graveyard onto the bottom of its owner's library. Activate only as a sorcery. So kind of like something you want in your mill deck to keep your stuff flowing. Bit expensive though. We have Sporogenic Infection. A black and 1 for an enchantment or enchant creature. When Sporogenic Infection enters, target player sacrifices a creature other than enchanted creature. When enchanted creature is dealt damage, destroy it. So this is a fun card, kind of a really interesting removal. So you can put it on one creature to force them to sacrifice another creature, and then you can just ping that creature with just 1 point of damage, and it'll destroy it. So yeah, that sounds like this is going to be a fun little card people are going to play with. Then we have Live or Die. It's kind of beefy at 2 black and 3 for an instant that reads either return target creature card, choose one, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield, or destroy target creature. It's beefy for a removal, but you can. A lot of people are going to use this to return a card from the graveyard to the battlefield without any restrictions. Then we have Kona Rescue Beastie. For a green and 3, you get a 4/3 Beast Survivor Legendary Beast Survivor. At the beginning of your second main phase, if it's tapped, you may put a permanent card from your hand onto the battlefield. This is incredibly powerful. So you want to find a reason to tap Kona every turn because you get a free card from your free permanent onto the battlefield in your second main phase. So hoo-ha. This is going to be an interesting card. This is very, very powerful. Next up, we have Brood Spinner. Which is a green and a black for a 2/3 spider with reach. When it enters, surveil 2. And for a beefy black and green and 4, you can tap it and sacrifice it and create a number of 1/1 black and green insect creature tokens with flying equal to a number of card types in your cards in your graveyard. So this definitely is like a matters about cards in your graveyard. Kind of fits well in a spider and insect deck as well. We've already seen some love that way. We have a commander that'll be that works well with that. Enduring Vitality. So 2 green and 1 for a 3/3 enchantment creature, Elk Glimmer with Vigilance. Creatures you control have tapped to add 1 mana of any color. And when it dies, you return to the battlefield under its control, and it becomes just a basic enchantment. I really like this. It gives some mana fixing. It's low cost. It's a good it's got good creature value. It's at 3/3 vigilance. I'm all down for this. Next up, we have the backup command. We're going to go in the backup commander for the Amanatu commander deck. So Master of Keys is a white, a blue, and a black for a 3/3 legendary enchantment creature horror. Yeah, it's flying. So it's a blue, a black, a white, a blue, black, and X for a 3/3 legendary enchantment creature horror with flying. When Master of Keys enters, put X +1/+1 counters on it and mill twice X cards. Each enchantment card in your graveyard has escape. Its escape cost is equal to the card's mana cost, plus exile 3 other cards from your graveyard. So it's kind of a way to get the enchantment you want back from your graveyard, but it's beefy. And you don't have to pay the X at all. But if you do, it gets bigger. And it's flying, so it's a body. Then we have, from that deck, we have Soaring Lightbringer, a white and 4 for a 4/5 Bird Glimmer with flying. Other enchantment creatures you control have flying. Ooh. Whenever you attack a player, create a 1/1 white and glimmer enchantment creature token that's tapped and attacking that player. Ew. Um, so like a white version of like Squee. So you get when it attacks, you get a 1/1 token, and that has flying because it's an enchantment creature. So yeah, you got 5 damage coming at you at least every turn if it attacks. Yeah, that's fun. I want this card. Next up is Fear of Sleep Paralysis. Another powerful card. It's a bit beefy and a blue and 5, but you get a 6/6 enchantment creature Nightmare. Has flying whenever Fear of Sleep Paralysis or another enchantment you control enters, or whenever you fully unlock a room, tap up to 1 target creature, put a stun counter on it. Stun counters can't be removed from permanents your opponents control. Ouch! You get to lock down your opponent's creatures that have stun counters. That's incredibly powerful. Find a way to cheat this bad boy in, especially if you're having a stun counter centric deck. That's gonna hurt. Next up, we have another insanely powerful card in Ancient Cellar Spawn. 2 black and 1 for a 3/3 enchantment creature horror. Each spell you cast that's a demon, horror, or nightmare costs 1 less to cast. And whenever you cast a spell, if the amount of mana spent cast it was less than its mana value, target opponent loses life equal to the difference. So if you're playing this and it is in a commander deck, if you're playing this in commander and you have cost reducers in your deck, this card is gonna do work. And because it's black, it focuses around a lot of black creatures that are demons, horrors, or nightmares. So especially some of your nightmare creatures from other decks, from the Theros block and out of I can't think of it right now. It'll come to me in a minute. The dinosaur set. Not Ixalan, but it's eluding me now. I can see the set symbol. I just the mutate set that had nightmares in it. Next up, we have Redress Fate, because it's Amanatu. It's a beefy 2 white and 6 for a source that it reads. Turn all artifacts and enchantment cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. It has a miracle cost of a white and 3. So hoo-ha. Duskmourn's Domination. It's a beefy 2 blue and 4 for an enchantment order. You control enchanted creature. Enchanted creature gets +3/+0 and loses all abilities. Well, that sucks to be your opponent's creatures. Metamorphosis Fanatic. A beefy 2 black and 4 for 4/4 human cleric with lifelink. When it enters, return up to the 1 target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield with a lifelink counter on it. Ooh! And it has a miracle cost of a black and 1. So if you can cheat this in with a miracle cost, you can cheat in a creature for low cost with a lifelink counter on it. Ow! And we have Phenomenon Investigators. So I guess this is a trope on the X-Files. So two generic, a blue and a black for a 3/4 human detective. As Phenomenon Investigators enters, choose Believe or Doubt. Choose Believe. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, create a 2/2 black horror enchantment creature token. Doubt. At the beginning of your next end step, you may return a non-land permanent you own to your hand. If you do, draw a card. Okay. So troping on X-Files. So we only got a few more cards to get through, so I'm going to go with Secret Arcade and Dusty Parlor. So I'm going to tick this up so you can read it a bit better. So Secret Arcade is a white and 4 for non-land permanents. It's another enchantment room. Non-land permanents you control, permanent spells you control are enchantments in addition to their other types. Dusty Parlor is whenever you cast an enchantment spell, put a number of +1/+1 counters on it equal to that spell's mana value on up to 1 target creature. Okay. Cramped Vents and Maze Access is another enchantment room. For Cramped Vents, you get black and 3. You unlock this door and you this room deals 6 damage to target creature and opponent controls, and you gain life to the excess damage dealt this way. Access Maze is for 2 black and 5. Once during each of your turns, you may cast a spell from your hand by paying life equal to its mana value rather than paying its mana cost. Whoopsie! Then we have Cathartic Parting, which is probably a companion to Cathartic Reunion, so green and 1 for a sorcery that reads, owner of target artifact or enchantment and opponent controls, shuffles it into the library. Then you may shuffle up to 4 target cards from your graveyard into your library. So, hoo-ha. Then we have Osseous Stick Twister. A black and 1 for 2/2 artifact creature Scarecrow with lifelink. It has lifelink. Means your instep, there are 4 more card types in your cards in your graveyard. Opponent may sacrifice a non-land permanent or discard a card. Then Osseous Stick Twister deals damage equal to its power to each opponent who didn't sacrifice a permanent or discard a card this way. Okay. More Scarecrow stuff. And lastly is another insanely powerful card in Let's Play a Game. Shall we play a game? So, again, this is a troping on the Saw movies. And wait, is that Batman on the screen? So, a black and 3 for a sorcery that reads, choose one. If there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard, choose one or more instead. So, creatures your opponent's control get -1/-1 till end of turn. Each opponent discards 2 cards, or each opponent loses 3 life and you gain 3 life. All of them are solid for the mana cost that you got. The first one isn't so solid, but if you're playing like a Maha deck, you just board wiped your enemy. Each opponent discards 2 cards. Well, that's about the same as you can do with any kind of rankle effect. But it pairs well with Rotten Mouth, so hoo-ha. And each opponent loses 3 life and you gain 3 life. Not going to argue with that at all. So hoo-ha. That's all the cards we have for right now. We'll see you on the next video.